Hi. I get asked by students quite often what's my favourite book in the Old Testament, and the answer I usually give is Ecclesiastes, which isn't really the right reason, because people are often rather suspicious of Ecclesiastes, but I have my reasons. On the other hand, if I think about the question, what do I think at the moment might be the most important book in the Old Testament for us, then it might well be Jeremiah. And the reason for that is that I think that the time in which Jeremiah lives with the people of God and the time in which we live as the people of God are really rather similar, rather worryingly similar. People sometimes talk about the church being in exile in our time. I don't think the church is in exile, but I do think that we're on the verge of being in exile, and that's the context in which Jeremiah lives. And Jeremiah's critique in chapter 3 of his book is that the problem with Judah in his day is that it's forgotten its gospel, it's forgotten its story, it's forgotten what God did with it, it's put them out of mind and stopped really thinking about them. And then Jeremiah in that chapter talks about the way in which they've stopped paying attention to God's written word, to the Torah, to the scriptures, if you like, and they aren't shaping their life or their worship of God by those scriptures. And instead what they're doing is looking at what the traditional religion of Canaan, Canaanite religion you could call it, what they've got to offer. Because often the religion of the culture in which the people lived looked more attractive and looked more relevant than the religion that Israel's own scriptures, Israel's own faith had got. And so they are turning to the culture, to the religion of the day, and it's like turning to broken cisterns, Jeremiah says. A cistern is something that you use to hold water through the summer when it isn't raining, and so it's not ideal, it's not as good as having a well or a spring, but if it's a broken system it's really stupid. Jeremiah says that's what people are having recourse to when they're looking at the religions of the people around, when they have forgotten the story of God's work with them, their gospel story, and they turned their mind away from the written word of God. And all that seems to me to be worryingly similar to the context of the church in which we live, and a reason why I think Jeremiah is a really important book. So I hope you get a lot from reading it.